Hi, it's Elizabeth. I wanted to share my excitement today about something that happened in my class yesterday when I got to see the achievement of one of my classroom and individual goals of having some of my students play a game together without adult support for more than 15 minutes. So this was an individual goal that I gave them and something that I've been working on all the year. And I want to just use it as an example of how we need to think about goals to see them happen. So the first thing that I decided with this goal was whether or not it's worth doing. Is it socially significant for them? It's not an academic goal, but it is socially significant for them. And being able to take turns, being able to participate in something that most people can do is socially significant. So it's worth doing. And you have to decide that because it's going to take time. And time focused on something means that time is not focused on something that could be happening during that time. So I decided that for this group of kids, this was a really important thing. They were having a lot of trouble learning to play with others. They're 6 and 7. So about halfway through the year, I looked at all of the different things I had tried and realized we were making some progress in some areas, but the progress wasn't measurable. And I had reason to think that it was really never going to get us to our goal. So this is why I'm making these videos, is I want to share how to think analytically as a teacher, how to think more like a behavior analyst as a teacher, how to use these principles, how to look at a situation and realize you need to change something. But how and what do you do? So halfway through the year is a good time to do that, to go, well, you know what? I'm seeing some progress. I think this is getting better, but it's not really measurable. So I used kind of a format that we use for some other goals to make it what we call a functional routine, which means that you would do a task analysis of what it takes to be able to play this game or a game, and what the cues would be to play it. What cues are they getting from an adult? What cues could be changed into something that would be more built in to the game? Or because that's what you need to do with the task analysis. Figure out each step, where the steps aren't happening, what kind of prompting or cues do they need, and replace those cues with something that's going to be more independent. So I did that. I looked through it and I said, you know what? We need to increase the time we're spending on this, and it needs to be more methodical. I grouped them in different ways. The ones that had the most strengths with the ones that had the least, and on down, so that there would be at least one person in each group who kind of could keep it going. Having a couple of kids play games who neither one of them know what's going on is just really difficult. You may also need to use peer models, have other people come in. So then I also looked at what games I was trying to teach them and realized I needed to go way, 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 way more simple until they got the idea of my turn, your turn, and could do that without an adult saying, now you say this, now you say this. And so the game was basically just like pick something out of this and place it into the correct place over there, and then say your turn and have the next person do it. So those were two things that I had to realize had to change. And then I took data on each step. Was I having to physically prompt them? Was I verbally prompting them? Or were they doing it independently? On average throughout the game, what was happening most often for each of those steps? So we did this for a few weeks, and I saw that they were getting the idea. We tried a couple of other different games too. And then yesterday, during a really crazy time in the classroom, these kids were like, we want to play a game. And I said, you know what? We're not going to keep score, but you guys can practice playing this game. And then I watched them play for like 20 minutes. And I was like, look at this, guys. Oh my gosh, they're doing it. So that's really exciting for me. I wanted to share that. And I hope that you've learned something from the example of kind of the way that we have to think of things to recognize what we may need to change or do in order to make these socially significant or any other goals happen.